Hi, so Shay again, and so here's what I want to talk a little bit about today. Something I'm calling the natural. The I guess I'll give you a little bit of background about this and how I kind of came to it. Um, one of the last jobs I had had this experience in my life where um, I just kind of stopped giving a shit about a lot of stuff, and in all the right ways, I kind of a newfound freedom just because I had one of those game changing things happen to me. Um, and it had a really cool effect because I was able to kind of come into my work life and say, you know what, man, torpedoes be damned. I don't care what happens here. Um, I know I'm really good at sales, and I'll certainly do the work. But I'm just going to be myself. I'm just going to let it all hang out. It's so much easier and so much more relaxing for me to just not try and put on any kind of pretense, and then just be that way. And the really cool thing about that is that worked really well on a whole bunch of different levels. Not only did I enjoy my life, but I easily had one of the more successful sales experiences of my pretty good career to start with, anyway. And so it was really nice to be able to see how um, chilling out, being myself, translated into that much more profitability as well. And so that's a lot of the grounding about how I come to this be the natural salesperson. So the idea behind that is this: who you are as a person is just naturally attractive, no matter what your personality. Um, it doesn't really matter about any of that kind of stuff. Just being that natural you is infinitely more attractive than any kind of other personality that folks are tempted to try and just put on. Um, in that space, that's where naturally and all by itself, you just seem to miraculously say the right thing, have the right reaction, ask the right question. Those planets just seem to line up when you are at home in your own skin. Um, and so, places that we can recognize this, I was thinking about. We can call it all kinds of different things. And if you're looking at those kinds of people relative to the athletic and sports world, it's they're in the zone, they're the natural, so on and so forth. Or the business world, it's you know at ease with the process, or it's the person that seems to be really synced up, the person that can quote think on their feet, or is self assured, self confidence. If you're talking about the world of kind of spirituality and psychology and such, terminology for the exact same stuff is I'm really connected. I'm grounded. I'm enlightened. I'm self-loved. Um, and it's all the same stuff. To thine own self be true, right? And this is what we really aspire to: complete comfort with ourselves as we go through our process, knowing that now is the only moment that we can really control. And if you're entirely yourself now, then through a series of those nows, you can't help but to be going the right direction. Um, you really can't help but to be going the right direction with that. Um, I should pause for a moment because that's a pretty heavy thought, and that's one worth sinking in. That you really can't help but to be moving the proper direction, and there's really no sense of no failure possible. So notice the moments when you're not in that natural state. It's when some kind of outside fears crept in to disturb you. And as salespeople, you don't need a lot of examples of that. You already know, new quota, new boss, it change of any sort. All those kinds of things can kind of mess with you a little bit. And notice how it always seems to be these outside influences that mess with the internal you. And I really mean to draw that distinguishing line between that you're already aware of, that distinguishing line that demarcates you from the experiences that mess with the you. And I'm guessing that you're already kind of aware of things that happen to you from the outside, thus they seem to be happening to the you, that are inflicted upon you, as distinguished from the events that come from the outside themselves. That's confusing. Another way to say the exact same thing is um, when I'm able to say, and stuff that you're already familiar with again is, hey, I'm cool with me. Okay, I know I'm pretty synced up. It's when the outside world messes with me, that's when the freak out starts to happen, right? And I'm using that as kind of further evidence of the natural state is where you want to be. Um, and something else that I want to kind of affirm is that that should be a very comforting notion, to know that you don't have to become something that you're not, in order to have that level of comfort and success and all these things that we're kind of looking for. Rather, it's just an allowing of what already is. And that is so much more of a serene and so much more of a pleasurable motion. So all we have to do is kind of remove those barriers and obstacles between what already is. Um, so that's pretty heavy stuff. I'm going to leave it there for now. I want to try and keep this nice and short. I'm tempted to try and underpin this stuff a little bit with, specific examples about how this translates into the life of the salesperson. Those should be kind of easy dots to connect, so I'm not going to do it. But talk to me as well. So anyway, I'm starting to run a little bit longer than I wanted to. Keep talking to me. Let me know if this makes sense, and we'll see you next time. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.